Every time you get on a dirt bike, you're at least going to crash once. That's once a day. I mean, sometimes 3 times a day. The big thing in motocross is you crash and you get back up real quick and you start going. It's getting worse and worse with the speeds that we're getting now. The jumps are getting big, everything's changing and progressing.
We're here today with Mike McDade, motocross rider, that we're going to spend some time with him, putting him through concussion examination and also some of the preventative measures that we're trying to take with our concussion program. We really are very fortunate here in Pittsburgh at UPMC to have a world-leading concussion program. We have a number of aspects to the program that we're going to expose Mike to today. One of those is our baseline testing, and that's really getting a benchmark through neurocognitive testing, computerized test that gives us sort of a baseline to work from. We will also put him through an exam if he were to have a concussion. There's some of the things that we're looking at. Also, spend some time with our therapist. There's a whole rehabilitation program based on what type of injury and where the brain is affected. Motocross is an aggressive sport, and every rider is going to have a crash at some point in time or multiple ones. I think making sure that they have a baseline prior to that accident is very important. Many years ago, I used to ride and race, and these types of testing just weren't available. And there was a lot of riders that had significant injuries that went untreated, unchecked, and untested.
So baseline testing is the first measurement that we really want to get. It's one of the tools in a toolbox that a neuropsychologist would actually use in order to help kind of determine and progress somebody out of a concussion. Otherwise, we could be taking a guess at where the athlete is and how well they're going to be responding to treatments and what type of treatments they really need beyond that. Crashes occur frequently within motocross, especially with the type of impacts they may face, whether it's coming off the bike, whether it's through practices, whether it's in competition. But it's always good to make sure you have that baseline so we can treat them appropriately and get them back onto the track as quickly as possible.
After a concussion, a lot of people have issues with their vestibular system. What that means is they'll have problems with dizziness, with balance, with movement around them. The vestibular system is what helps you process movement and motion signals. It's a part of the brain that you really don't think about consciously, but it can be involved after an injury. And if you think about high velocity sports like motocross, it involves movement and a lot of that automatic processing of movement. So what we do a series of tests looking at how you use your visual and your vestibular system together to process movement and motion.
There can be ocular problems, which is your eyes, being able to coordinate your eyes together, what we call binocular vision.
Gotcha.
Bringing your eyes together, moving your eyes up, down, side, side, in unison.
Yeah.
Stick your thumb out.
Sideways?
Up, down. If we had this test before you ever had a concussion, we can then use this as a way of making sure that these guys are treated okay, make sure it's screened properly.
A lot of people in motocross, because they're so used to crashing and taking the abuse, might think they're fine. You know, after a week, hey, I'm not dizzy anymore. You know, I'm fine, I'm good to go without getting looked at. Definitely something that needs to be taken more serious in every sport, but because this is my sport, like what I do, I think that it's, it's important, it's key.